Hey!
Hello. This is
Deep
Deep College Thoughts.
Welcome back to Deep College Thoughts, guys. We have a special guest this episode. Her name is Fatima. She is a student here on campus, and we're going to get straight into it. So, Fatima, I'm going to ask you about 8 questions. I'm going to say the question out loud and then you answer.
Okay.
So, the first question is, are you a first-generation student? If yes, how has that impacted you? And if not, what is that like?
I am a first-generation college student. How does it affect me? Well, it's a lot of, I guess, stress, or like it's like a burden because you feel like you have to. At least me personally, it feels like I have to. What's the word? Carve or make the path for like my little sisters or like my other younger family members. Also, not knowing what to do is a bit overwhelming because no one else has the experience, so I have to figure out things on my own. So yeah.
I think we all can relate as being all first-generation students. So,
What's your favorite thing about college?
Meeting new people. It's nice meeting new people and learning about others and like their cultures and what they do for fun and new personalities. I think that's pretty fun.
are you in any clubs? If yes, what are they and what is that like?
Last semester I was in Corazón Folclórico, which is folkloric dancing. But this semester I joined the Korean Student Association. Well, I was in it last semester as well, but now I'm actually attending the meetings because I have to because I'm the secretary now.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I was gonna do Corazón Folclórico this semester as well, but I realized it's too much right now for me.
That's understandable.
Setting boundaries, knowing what you gotta do, yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you would tell your high school self?
Don't give up, probably. I feel like a lot of the times, well, back in high school, it was like, if it happens, it happens. If not, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. It wasn't until like the end of high school, and now I'm like, if I want something, I'm gonna work hard for it. And then if it didn't work out, well, it didn't work out.
It's basically life.
Yeah.
Like,
It'd be like that.
do you feel challenged in your schoolwork? Like with assignments, with going to class? Like, is it really a struggle or is it just like, oh, it's nothing?
Sometimes it depends. Like, sometimes I would have like major assignments that I would have to do, but I would procrastinate and I put it off to like the very last moment, and that's when it gets really stressful. But if I actually start when I need to start, I feel like it'd be okay-ish. But I don't, so it can sometimes be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah. I feel like procrastination is one of those big things that people are now starting to talk about.
Yeah, even though it's always been a thing, I feel like it's always been like, oh, you're lazy, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody's always procrastinated.
And it's not that we're lazy, it's that we have so much going on where we just are drained and have no motivation at all. We're like, I don't know if y'all heard about the senioritis in high school.
Yeah.
Senioritis is real. For all y'all seniors out there that are going through this, it is real, and don't let it drag you down because you're literally just gonna procrastinate and procrastinate. You're gonna be like, I have time. And you guys are about to walk the stage
Literally.
anytime now. Like, months away. We have 10 weeks left of this semester, and we'll be going on to our sophomore year of college. Like, time flies. So...
Or like, what do they call it? Task paralysis, where you have so much to do, you don't know where to start.
Yep.
So like, you just do nothing. Like, you try to, I guess you're trying to like not think about it.
Yep.
But like, you just don't do anything, and then there goes your whole day, and you feel like lazy. I mean, I guess in a sense, like, okay, you could have done something, but at the same time, you had so much to do, you didn't know where to start. And sometimes the best option is to just start. just pick something and do it.
Yeah.
Just start.
Even if it's the smallest thing that like, oh, I gotta do laundry, but I don't feel like doing laundry. Like, just start somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
What's the next question?
What are your majors and minors?
Okay, I am double majoring in psychology and Spanish.
How's that? What do you plan to do with that?
Well, for psychology, I would like to be
It's okay, we stutter all the time.
We do.
I would like to be like a therapist, a counselor of sorts.
At like a school or something, or just like
No, and like
With a clinic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And for Spanish, an interpreter at first, maybe also as a side job. But I also want to take in clients that speak Spanish, like families, maybe immigrant families. Especially, I don't know. I kind of want to
It's okay.
It's okay.
raise awareness in the Hispanic community in a bit, because a lot of, well, in my family, or in like in other families that I know, they don't really believe in like mental health or like problems,
Yeah.
disorders and things like that. They just think you're lazy and you're going crazy
Yeah.
and things like
Or
that.
it's just an episode, like you'll get
Yeah.
over it. And I feel like that's, in my opinion, it's not okay, because it's a real thing. Like, you have a chemical imbalance, you have issues that are going on, like there's feelings and emotions that need to be heard.
Right.
And which is why we started the podcast. Like, we literally need to be heard, we need to vent, we need to let it out. So it's like what we talked about in our last episode, where you need an outlet. So it's good that you're thinking about all these things, because you're actually going to be end up helping other people. So it's like, you're doing good.
I have a question that's not on the list. As somebody who's like from Hispanic heritage, like what made you want to like major in Spanish? Like, because I'm assuming you can already speak Spanish.
Yeah.
What made you want to like take that on as like your education?
Well, one, I already have to do the credits. Might as well make something out of it.
Right.
Two, I guess it might. I don't know. I guess if I'm applying for a job or like clinical place, hospital, they might give me more consideration if I have like a degree that says I can speak Spanish.
Oh,
or
to
something
like
like
boost your resume.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And when you have it on paper, you get paid more also.
Yes.
True.
So it's like,
What would you change about college? Or at least one thing. It can be multiple, but at least one.
How expensive it is.
True.
Like right now, oh my lord, tuition. I don't know. Just the price of it, like everything, like how expensive books are, textbooks. I know some people pay like a lot of money if they stay in dorms.
yeah, we know.
Heard a thing or two.
But the book thing is, and I believe we mentioned this our first episode, but we have this option called First Day Complete here, which is basically like where you can get all of your textbooks for like the low price of about $300 to $360, which in in hindsight it does seem like a lot of money, but when you're comparing the cost of like all of your textbooks, I know that when I added up the prices, if I bought all of my textbooks individually, it was like $850 versus that $360 that I had to pay for all of them instead. So it is a lot of money, but if you look at like the bigger picture, then it's a lot cheaper. It was like $500 cheaper. So
Yeah. So now a topic that we can all talk about. How is it living on campus versus living off of campus? Who wants to start? You want me to start?
Yeah.
So, as a person that has shared a room with their siblings almost my entire life, it wasn't really hard getting used to a roommate. But I would say if you are going to college and you don't live close to the campus, stay on campus, just because you would get more of that campus experience. You live on campus, you know everything. Unless you live close, like around town or something, like 10-15 minute drive, then maybe just stay home. It's cheaper, you know, but still be involved with campus. Like, come to the events, do what you got to do. Like, don't don't make it seem that you're not allowed to always be on campus just because you live off of campus. Like, you're always welcome. This is your campus. This is like your home, kind of, in a way. So by living on campus, I kind of just made it like my second home in a way. You wanna?
What's it like for you?
Well, I live off campus. I commute to school every day. For me, I don't know. What do I think? What was it?
It was how was it living off of campus versus living on campus? So how was your experience living off of campus?
Let's start with like how far away do you live?
Okay. Mine's like a 15-minute drive.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's pretty close. 12 minutes sometimes. I think the biggest problem would be when there's an event that I would like to go to, but it's like in the afternoon. So like, and my classes are in the morning. So like, I'm done at 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
So going home and coming back, staying here only for an hour and then going again. Sometimes I just like don't put in the effort and just like don't come.
That's understandable.
I kind of regret it sometimes because like I could have come to the event, I could have had fun, I could have met new people, but then I was like, I don't know.
But it's also like you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's always gonna be other events. It's not like this is the only one. So, Kayla?
I actually think that I live the farthest away from campus. So obviously I live on campus. Living on campus was kind of an adjustment. Like I've said in previous episodes, I am the only child, but I've always been really open to like sharing and, you know, giving to others. So I don't think that I had a problem in that department. I think my biggest thing is I didn't grow up with a lot of background noise. So when I'm trying to study or I'm trying to do work, I really need to be silent, or like rain noises or white noise in the background. I can't do a lot of talking or, you know, a lot of loud noises while I'm trying to study. Luckily here on campus we have a lot of resources. Like I can come to the library, I can, you know, book a room, like if I can't be around noises. But I think that was the biggest adjustment. But living on campus is really fun, especially if you're involved with your campus. I do think that you'll have a harder time if you're not involved with your campus. If you're one of those people who just go back to your room at the end of your classes and don't do anything, don't talk to anybody, I think you're going to have a hard time adjusting. But if you're one of those people who are able to go to different events on your campus, then I think that you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also, as a person that's always had to share a room with siblings, like I'm used to the noise, so I feel like that would be a big adjustment. And just being involved with campus, because you don't want to be in your room all alone or just maybe hanging out with your roommate, but you also want to meet new people, kind of like what Fatima said, like meeting new people, getting to know their personalities, their background, their culture, the differences, the similarities, all of that kind of goes into play where like you want to make connections, because you don't know who you meet today, maybe later on is going to give you a job. So it's also like you just want to build, even if it's a small little connection. Hey, can I follow you on Instagram? Oh, you do car meets? Oh, I love cars. Like something as small as that can either make a friendship or a business relationship or something.
That's how me and Johnny met.
Yeah.
That's how me and Johnny met.
So our next topic is events and clubs on campus.
I think you've been to the most events, so I think you should speak first. What's been your favorite event that you went to?
Favorite? Oh, International Night last semester. It was fun. I got to perform with Corazón Folclórico, and I got to see I got to see other organizations performing as well, and it was really fun there. I believe CCLA, they had like a fashion show kind of thing for their time, and then the president, I believe, sang a song, and she rapped as well,
No.
and it was like, really nice. I think that was my favorite event because there was like all kinds of cultures from like all over the world. So I think yes, that
I've been to 2 events to see you dance, and like Fatima's a good dancer.
She
like
can dance, y'all.
I'm like,
telling
oh,
you.
okay.
Baby, if it was me, baby.
She be throwing it down.
She really do though.
But I love that like you invited us to your events and stuff because it's also like half the time I don't even know what's been going on campus.
Exactly. Like I be trying to read the emails,
or
but
I know
sometimes,
last minute and then
literally,
I'm like I have class or I have a meeting. So it's like when you invite us, you keep us updated. Fatima.
Really?
well then March 23rd, I have a band.
Okay.
Okay, per.
Say less. You just text us, let us know.
Is that a Friday? I think that's a Friday.
No, it's a Saturday.
Saturday, I might stay on campus that weekend. It's kind of like we said, events and clubs on campus. I feel like clubs, you just build the relationship, you get to meet new people. I feel like here on campus, there's a lot of gaming clubs. Because we do have what is that park called?
Esports
Arena.
arena.
So there's a lot of gamers. So
Also, for like every major we have here, there is a club for your major. So like I'm a sociology major, and although I just made the switch, I joined the sociology club. And sometimes we have meetings in person, sometimes we have meetings online. And they kind of help you try to find jobs and like your degree. They talk a lot about internships and stuff, and it's a lot of the teachers in that, well, not teachers, professors in that department, um, helping you run things behind the scenes. So, they've been here for 10, 20 years, they know how things run, they can give you the ins and out of your major.
yeah. With that being said, how to make friends in college, not being stuck in your room or stuck by yourself. I feel like moving onto campus, you're by yourself. It's a new chapter, new beginnings. You're gonna be scared, you're gonna be nervous, you're gonna be anxious, you're gonna be feeling all of these emotions you probably never felt before because you never left your mama's house, your daddy's house, your grandma's house, wherever you lived before. So therefore, you have to get used to this change. Before I met Kayla, I was always stuck in my room. I would either be in my room, the lounge, or basically those are my 2 spots. And then once I met Kayla kind of opened the doors for me. I met new people, I got to talking to people, made new connections. So it's always like you're gonna meet one person that's then gonna open the door for everybody. And one thing that I could say, if you're being stuck in your room too much, where it's to the point where it's driving you crazy, please just try to reach out to someone. Or like reach out to a friend and talk to a friend because you don't want to be in campus getting used to this change by yourself. Like especially during your first semester. Like first semester, I think if I didn't meet Kayla and made our friendship happen, I would probably still be stuck in my room, probably not even doing this podcast. It would be so different. So it's just having at least one person where that's your go-to person, or you guys meet up every day to go to the caf to eat dinner or lunch. Like me and Kayla ate dinner yesterday in the caf together. So it's just having that one person. You don't have to have a million friends, but at least just one to get you through each day is at least the minimum that you could go through. But also like clubs, events, your classmates, like especially if you're taking your major classes, there are going to be people there that are majoring in the same thing with you. Reach out, talk to someone, make connections. That's a big one.
I agree with Jody. It's really important to make connections in college. I feel like a lot of people who were loners kind of in high school, or like they only talked to like one person or just like a handful of people, you don't always go to the same college with each other, and it might be hard for you to reach out and make connections, especially if people have always just come up to you. You've never really had to go and talk to anybody. But I don't think that it's good or healthy to just be by yourself all the time in college because there are lots of things that you can't go through by yourself. There are lots of things that you'll experience in college where you'll need help. You'll need to reach out to somebody. And people who suffer in silence, and I've been one of those people, it normally just doesn't end up good. So I say at least try to make one friend, try to make one connection, even if it's just between you and a professor, like you have, or your RA, like you have somebody that you can reach out to in times of need. It's not good to just go through it by yourself. And long distance friends are good. It's good to have your friends still from high school or still from your hometown, but when you're hours away from them, what can they do if something goes wrong? It's good to have a connection on campus, somebody that can be there for you when you need it.
Yeah. So, Fatima, as being a student that doesn't live on campus, how have you made connections or friends? Or how is that like for you?
Me? Well, through the events and through the clubs or organizations that I go to, that's how I met most of the people who I talk to now. Yeah, to be honest, it's mainly through those events that I've met new people. I don't really talk to the people in my class. But to be fair, there's like 200 of us, and like one of them, so.
Yeah, and all
It's
the
kinda
psych
hard.
lectures,
Yeah.
they're really
Yeah.
big.
So in classes like that, I don't really talk to my classmates a lot, but I do in events that I go.
That's good. I mean, sometimes you do have big classes, sometimes you have smaller classes. You know, it's just, I feel like events and clubs is more where it's at because you guys all like the same thing, want the
Right.
same goal, so it's easier that way. What are good and bad habits to have in college, in and outside of class?
Good habits to have: doing your work on time. Now, a lot of the teachers from high school, no, we'll say middle school, they'll be like, oh, your teachers in high school aren't going to accept this. And then you'll go to high school and they accept it. And then they'll be like, oh, your college professors aren't going to accept it. And then you go to college and some of your professors accept it and some of your professors don't. But if you get in the habit of submitting your assignments on time, then it'll be like, you ever felt your heart drop when you don't submit something on time? You'll get that feeling. You'll get like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen. A bad habit to have, and I know a lot of people do it. I've done it once or twice. I go to bed at like 8 p.m. Don't at me.
At me so I know it's real.
Don't at me. But pulling all nighters, okay? If you did the assignment on time, you wouldn't have to pull an all nighter. So think about that.
Okay, so I would have to say a good habit to have is probably going to class and turning in your assignments. Also, talking to your professors.
True.
If it's a big lecture hall class, maybe having a tutor or going to the library and seeing if there's any resources there. But if not, talking to your professors. Your professors care. Trust me. They might seem like they don't care, but like obviously they became a professor because they want to help students. They want to help the next new generations that are coming. Like they're not teaching just to teach because this is the only option. Like they're passionate about it. In a bad habit, I would have to agree with Kayla. Pulling an all-nighter. If you have to study, at least divide your time though.
Do it
Don't
in increments.
be all up all night because then you're going to be sleeping during your test or the class period or whatever the case may be. So just pulling an all-nighter, but setting like, okay, I studied for 2 hours during the day, let me take a power nap, you know?
Me.
Oh, my turn.
Mhm.
Office hours. If you can, go to office hours. I've gone a couple of times. They're helpful, especially if you have like questions about an assignment or something you just don't understand and you need to ask the professor about it. I should just go. Mhm.
And a bad habit.
Oh, bad habit?
Yeah.
Yeah, putting off work and doing it at the last minute.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming.
Another bad habit, skipping a class to make up for a class. Like if you have something due and you're like, no, I'm gonna skip this class because I have to do this. If you would have done the assignment when it was due, and don't think I'm yapping at you guys because I'm literally talking to myself too. If you would have done the assignment when it was due, you wouldn't have to skip the class. And I know some of y'all are out there lying, talking, like I said last episode, talking about your grandma died when your grandma's very much alive and healthy. Stop lying on Gram. She doesn't appreciate it.
Professor Williams already said she knows when
She
y'all be
knows.
lying.
She knows. And best believe everybody else know too. That same COVID test that y'all be sending pictures of, it's been circulating around the whole campus. Don't think you're slick.
Okay. Slick. With that being said, next question. Study and learning strategies.
You want to start this?
Don't look over here because I don't study. I'm
sorry. Okay, well,
it's okay. We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
Okay, so as a person who doesn't study, how are you able to do well in your classes? Like, what is it like?
Well, for math, this semester kind of chose an easy course, so I already know this information. So I don't know. I know it, so I just do it. I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Psychology is something that interests me, so I put more attention.
Attention.
Yes,
Yeah.
attention.
You said it right.
I put more attention in class, so I guess I kind of absorb some of the information, and then when I look at the test, I'm like, oh, this goes with this. I connect the dots, and I get an answer.
That's,
Yeah, I don't really.
I would say for certain classes you have to study.
True.
Or at least review your notes for an exam. Like if it's like a big exam that's going over all the unit chapters.
Cumulative.
That's what I do. But learning strategies, it's literally what works for you. Like I know online notes don't work for me. I'm not gonna learn that way. So I write all my notes down in a notebook. Does my back hurt every day carrying 6 notebooks every single day? Yes. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But studying isn't for everybody. Everybody has different strategies. Everybody learns differently. You kind of just have to figure it out within yourself. What somebody else does may not work for you, or it may work. But that's just figuring out within yourself. That's really all I have to say.
I'm like you. Typing notes doesn't really work for me. I have to write it down. Studying is not something that I really did when I was in high school. Because it just kind of came to me naturally. Even in Latin, like there were some things that I had to study, some things that I didn't. Now what I do is I take time to review all my notes. A lot of the stuff in college that I've gone over is stuff that, especially my first semester, was stuff that I already knew. It was just knowledge, like, okay, just go in, take the test, and you're fine. But now that I'm learning new things and I know that I'm actually going to have to be able to apply them in a real world situation, I try to, I like to make flashcards a lot. So if I can like look at the flashcard, write down an example, and then read the example, be able to say like what theory it is, and know that I got it right, then that helps me a lot. Because in sociology, you look at a lot of like theories, golden means gap theories, conflict theory, stuff like that.
Vocab is a big one.
It is.
I know flashcards don't work for me, so what I try to do is I write down the word, the definition, and then an example that I can remember it off of. So like when it comes to bio, we were talking about blood types, A, B, and O. So it's like when it comes to those things, I have to write down certain things. But it's also taking down your notes when it comes to vocab. That's a big one. Now our next topic is self-care. So what do you guys do to self-care? Is self-care even a thing? I know sometimes it's not. The way Fatima is looking at me, she's like,
Literally.
what is that? Do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, what do you do to decompress? Like, you've had a long day, you know.
Go to sleep.
I like to listen to music, any kind of music, any genre. I could be feeling sad, overwhelmed, but also listen to sad music, but also kind of calm me down. I don't know. I like
That's what music. That's what music's supposed to do. Well, one of the things it's supposed to do.
that's all I got. I don't know what else to say.
As a person that doesn't really self-care, because I care too much for other people, you know?
This guy.
Okay, Jody, next.
Sometimes I watch a podcast to get my mind off of things, and that's how I relax. You know what? I'm not even gonna shout them out because they're not paying me.
Oh.
But if you want to know my favorite podcast, I'm a comment it on the Instagram post. So, yeah, I'll give y'all a little sneak peek of my favorite podcast that I listen to every Tuesday morning. Whew. They make me laugh. They make me so happy. So that's my happy place.
She's listening to Joe Rogan. Okay.
No,
she's
not. Baby, no, you far off. You is far off. But music is another one. But like a whole self-care routine and all of that, baby, that's not me. That don't work for me.
Yeah, people be doing that stuff every day. It couldn't be me.
What?
Self-care for me is really just, I like to read, so anytime I get time to read, like outside of class, it's really refreshing. I don't know, like, obviously not everybody's religious, but like if you're religious and you have time to, like, you know, talk to your God or talk to, you know, your
Beliefs.
your belief, like read your Bible, Quran, Torah, whatever you read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get that connection, get that spiritual strength.
Okay, next topic is, if you could give one piece of advice to your past self, what would it be and why? Kayla, you're gonna start us off.
Oh, I'm gonna start us off. If I could give one piece of advice to my past self, what would it be? My biggest thing is second chances. There have been many times in my life where I gave people second chances who didn't deserve it, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. If I gave you a second chance, then that means, like, hey, whatever happened after that chance, it was meant to happen. But also you have to know, like we said last podcast, when it's time to leave. And I think that instead of prioritizing my feelings in a lot of relationships that I had in high school, I prioritized other people's feelings, because they were like, oh, you're just gonna leave me like everybody else does, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. And I didn't want people to feel that way. But now I know, like, it's like what Jody says, I love you, but I've got to go. Like,
Shout out my uncle.
Literally. Like, you can only sacrifice your feelings so many times, and then at a point in your life, you gotta go. I mean, there's not much more that you can do. You can only let people tear you down so much. So I think that would be the biggest piece of advice, is to know when to leave.
You want to go next? Okay. My piece of advice would have to be to put yourself first earlier than what are you doing now.
Right.
I've put myself second for way too long, and sometimes still to this day I have to step back and realize, wait, am I doing this again? Just because I care, you know, and when I care deeply, because coming from a Puerto Rican household, you're just supposed to care and love for others so deeply, where you would do anything in this world for them, where some people don't deserve that. And it's hard learning that lesson, but I feel like as I'm learning this lesson, I feel like I would tell my younger self, you need to put yourself first. You need to put yourself first. It's not being selfish. You're gonna make it. you're gonna do big and good things in this world, but you need to start putting yourself first. Because when it did come for me to put myself first, it went through a lot of things that didn't have to happen because I learned the hard way. But it just happened, you know. So
I feel like we're following a pattern, so I'll continue on with that little pattern. Definitely putting yourself first, and it's okay to be greedy or selfish. Given to what you want to do. For example, I have 2 little sisters, and I take care of them, and I help them with their homework. And back in high school, I didn't do a lot of after-school activities or hang out with a lot of friends because I was always taking care of them. So now, I'm still helping out, and I still help with taking care of them and helping them with their homework and this and that, but I'm also doing things that I want to do. So I definitely would say, do what you want to do. Enjoy life, kind of thing.
okay, so now for the fun questions. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
You already know.
7 o'clock in the morning.
You already know. 7 o'clock.
On the dot. I'm in my drop top.
7 o'clock is the late alarm too, guys. I normally try to get up at 5 or 6. Normally it's 6.
Lord.
Shout out to my mama because she wake up at 4 a.m. I don't know. That's just I just get it from my mom. She got it from her dad, who probably got it from his dad. So, you know, that's just what time we get up. That's what time we've always gotten up. I love my mama. Love you, Mom. I know you're watching.
Fatima, you got morning classes.
I do, because I like to get things done early in the morning that we're going to have the afternoon free. But I like to stay up late. And that's why I don't get any sleep.
Oh.
So you're both.
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
Yes, we'll end it at that.
I'm a morning person. I could stay up late at night. But if I had to choose, I'm a morning person. I'd rather get everything done in the morning, have my afternoon free, and be resting, not dead asleep, but at least be in the bed, cuddling, you know, watching TV, a movie or something. I was in the bed last night, knocked out, RKO.
Me? I only sleep like 8, 9.
I know, because I texted you at 10 and you didn't respond.
Nope.
I said, you sleep? ? She didn't respond.
Gone.
Okay, what emoji do you use the most?
I'm going to insert mine here.
So do you want to insert all of ours?
Sure. I just, you know, we film on my phone, so I can't really.
Oh, yeah. Fatima, you send me your emoji. We're going to insert here.
We're going to insert here.
What do you do in your free time?
Sleep.
I
I mean, the reality is what free time. I already told y'all I have 53 assignments. You think I have any free time? And on top of that, I work 2 jobs. So I guess I'm asleep. What do you do?
Watch shows.
Okay, bro, what shows you be watching?
Kelly, you acting like if she gonna put you on. You didn't even watch shows.
Okay, I don't be watching shows, but the Chucky show is coming out April 10th. I think it's one of my favorites.
Oh, well, I'm currently watching One Piece.
Oh.
Is that anime?
Yeah.
Well, don't turn around. Turn back on.
Yeah, I know.
You should give it.
There's like 5,000 episodes of that, ain't it?
1,000.
Yeah, basically.
More than that. Every season
General
got
Hospital.
that. It was like 50,000 episodes.
Yeah. How do you know
It's
that?
good, though.
You be watching One Piece?
No, I tried.
Oh.
It's not my thing.
How'd you
What
try?
about the live action? That one's good.
Nope.
I just don't like anime, I'm sorry.
I watched
okay.
Hunter x Hunter, 7 Deadly Sins,
Okay,
Bleach, Sailor Moon. All the basic ones.
I watch BoJack Horseman. I love that show. You've never seen BoJack Horseman?
Insert clip.
Insert clip. What do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? Baby, I sleep, hang
Oh.
out with Kayla, hang out with my boyfriend. Yeah, that's about it.
Sometimes we go shopping. Sometimes we broke.
Yeah.
So most of the time we broke.
Yeah, 99.9% of the time we broke.
But when we're up,
We're up.
Oh.
Okay, and now it's game time. We're gonna play 2 truths, 1 lie. I'm gonna start, and then Fatima, you can go, and then Kayla can go last. So, I'm from CT. I love Bad Bunny. I'm the oldest child.
What's CT?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Oh, that's easy.
The lie is you're the oldest child. Obviously.
You were gonna say the same thing?
You were gonna say Connecticut, weren't you?
Connecticut.
Oh, no! I was born and raised in Connecticut.
I didn't know that. I thought you were the oldest.
No, I'm the middle child. I have a
Oh.
You don't know
brother.
about the brother.
Yeah,
No.
it's okay.
I
You
know
learn
I
new
was
things
like-
about me every day.
Okay.
Okay,
What's
now it's
yours?
your turn. This is gonna be so hard.
I literally.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. 1 second.
No, you
Hey,
can
First of
learn
all, I'm gonna steal her phone.
Okay. 1, I've gone to Mexico 3 times. 2, I founded a club in high school. And 3, I've had an undercut before. I think that's what it's called.
You've never had an
I
undercut.
don't think you've ever had an undercut. Or either you've only been to Mexico twice. She's trying to trick us.
This is tricky. You've never had an undercut. I don't believe it. Your hair's too long.
Yeah, you never had the undercut?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
I have had an undercut before.
So what's
How
the
many
lie?
times you been to Mexico?
2 times.
I knew it!
Dang!
I knew it!
Dang. But your hair is so. When was this?
December 2019 or 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
she had all that COVID years. That's why I
Yeah.
grew back.
I had a bad undercut. I would insert a clip, but y'all don't need to see that. So y'all do not need to see that, baby. She shaved half of my head horizontally. It's just half my head. I'm not lying.
Okay. Kayla's your turn.
Okay.
Now.
Mine is, I own a Glockenspiel. If y'all don't know what that is, that's a xylophone. I was in band, obviously. My favorite color is green, and I own 4 saxophones.
The lie is you own 4 saxophones.
What do you think the lie is?
What was that first one?
I own a Glockenspiel.
Oh, that thing. Or 4 saxophones. I feel like you would own 4. I think that's a lie, actually, no.
That I own 4 saxophones?
Yes.
Final answer?
That's the lie.
That's actually the truth.
Oh, I knew it!
Kayla, wait, now I'm confused.
You know my favorite color is in green.
Yes, it is. You're
No,
always wearing
My
green.
favorite color is red.
Oh, I better.
But you're always wearing green.
Okay, I do feel like I tricked you.
Yeah, like.
Anyway, I won.
Anyway.
So you do have 4. And
I
a
do.
Glockenspiel. What was it?
A Glockenspiel. Insert a clip.
Okay, so now for the quote of the day. I won't be remembered as a woman who kept her mouth shut.
So yeah, this quote just kind of takes me back to last episode and how we were talking about advocating for yourself and speaking up for things that you think are right. Especially during Black History Month. Shout out Black History Month. Every month is Black History Month, but I'm glad that we do have a designated month. I think that for me, my thing will be, probably always standing up for yourself. I really push, like, don't let people walk all over you. Don't just settle for anything. You, despite your self-image and despite how you view yourself, you're still a person. Okay, everybody doesn't view you how you view yourself, and you should really advocate for yourself and not let people walk all over you. Um, I know a lot of people's self respect is really low, and I don't want to say that's okay, but I understand where you're coming from. But there's a point in your life where you have to be like, okay, I am a person, I am me, I am who I am, and I have to advocate for myself. I can't just keep letting people walk all over me.
I feel like as a woman, especially in a Spanish household, you can't keep your mouth shut. In my household, my mom has always said there's certain things that you can and can't say, but when it comes to her and talking with her, I don't keep my mouth shut. There's certain times where I do, but she's always gonna find out at the end of the day. I tell her everything. So it's just, what Kayla said, I'm not gonna let you walk all over me, especially since I'm a woman. Like, you think you can just do whatever you wanna do? That's not the case.
Okay. I would kind of like to add to what you said about coming from like a Hispanic household. There's a lot of what's it called? Machismo.
Gossip?
Misogyny.
Misogyny?
Is that the word?
Like, men think they're better than women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That exists a lot in the whole Hispanic Latino community, unfortunately. And how do I explain that? Let me put this into words. For example, my dad, sometimes I feel like he would prefer for me to like not respond back, like accept what he says in a way, like not in a bad way. I know he doesn't mean it in a bad way, but I do talk back to him. I do say my opinion, and like if I don't agree with his, especially because he's kind of like really religious nowadays, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Until he starts to try to push it onto me, that's when I start like talking back. Like I will stand my ground.
Yeah, you gotta stand your ground. So with all of that being said,
Song of the day.
Song of the day.
Okay, Fatima, this bit is your song of the day, and it's basically pull up your Spotify, your Pandora, your YouTube, whatever you use.
Apple Music.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And just what's the song you've been listening to? What's something?
Oh, okay.
Obviously, mine is Flawless by Yeet. Okay, well, I love Yeet. And the second one is Explosive Freestyle by Doody Love. Shout out New York Drill.
How many do we see?
I don't know, I'm gonna just say one or two.
Okay, so I got Young Chimmy.
That's not Bad Bunny.
No, his name is Young Chimmy. And it's called La Ruta. Yeah, it's a trap song.
What's that mean?
The Roots. Yeah. He's just trapping though. It's a good song. I like it.
Bro.
Yeah. He be talking about how he be selling and all of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh wait, my English song of the day. Back in Blood by Pooh Shiesty.
It's a good one.
Okay. One would be Wherever You Are by One OK Rock. It's a Japanese rock band. And then Back to the City by Kepler.
I've never heard of any of those. I might have to check them out.
Oh wait, we also gotta put our song of the day.
What our song of the day?
First day out.
Baby. Yes.
Okay. With all of that being said, this is the end of our 4th episode with our special guest Fatima. Thank you so much for coming and being on.
Thank you so much for coming.
Don't miss out on all the fun, laughter, and wisdom. Subscribe to Deep College Thoughts. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all at Deep College Thoughts.
Put your mama on.
Put your mama on. Your mama always gonna listen to us.
Your
Loves to
mama
all the
love
mamas
us.
out there. I love you, mama. I know you watching.
And this is the end.
This is it. Bye.
Bye.